Hey everybody, it's Alyssa with Healthy to Wholesome. And for those of you who are new here, let me give you some background as far as how I got my own kitchen space. So in February of 2020, literally right before COVID, I started and founded my own meal prep business called Healthy to Wholesome Meals. And the main focus of this meal prep was to serve busy families who wanted healthy meals. My main goal of the meal prep business was to source local ingredients. So in the first year, I focused really hard on nailing down my local beef, eggs, and chicken. My main criteria was that they were raised ethically, the animals in which the protein came from, that they were raised organically, and they were raised pasture raised. So out eating the green grass and enjoying the fresh air, all of that. So now that I've been in this business for over a year now, I am going to be focusing more on finding local produce, herbs, dairy, and just kind of odds and ends that I might use throughout my meals. So these meals come fully prepared, ready to heat up. There's no assembly, no cooking, no shopping, no cleanup. I do all of that for you. All you have to do is reheat. Sometimes you don't even have to reheat, and enjoy. This is really nice for the on-the-go mom, for the college student, or even maybe your parents who are older and just don't have the will to cook anymore. So how it works is I release a new menu every Monday, and that menu consists of 5 different meals. Usually chicken, beef, pork, breakfast, and then a vegetarian. And then you have until Thursday to place your order at H2, as in the number 2, wmeals.com. And then I spend the weekend and Monday shopping, prepping, assembling, and delivering these meals to you. So you can meet me at one of my pickup locations, or you can also sign up for home delivery, which is really cool. So after being in business for about a year and a half, I kind of figured out how to do things a little quicker, a little easier, and now I'd like to introduce some other concepts to this meal prep business, and I couldn't do that in the space that I was in. I was traveling a half hour to and from the kitchen and then there again, and it just wasn't feasible for me to spend that much time traveling. So now I have something closer to me. It's out in the country, and it has a lot of potential for the future. So just 2 months ago, we started looking for our own place, and we were torn between finding somewhere really close to town, or if we were okay with being out of town a little bit, maybe to get a little more square footage for the same price. So we, after, I don't even know, 2 or 3 months of looking, we found a place in Preemption, Illinois. For those of you who don't know, it's southeast of Milan on 67 if you're heading to Viola, Macomb area. So it's on a very busy road. I don't know if you can hear, but there is traffic going by, and I hope to someday make this place more than just a kitchen. And I'll talk to you guys about that in a separate video. But the real reason you guys are here is to see my commercial kitchen. So this building was a winery before we purchased it, and before that it was, I believe it was an auto repair shop. So some big transitions, to take it from an auto repair shop to a winery to a commercial kitchen. And I'll show you what we've done to get it there. You guys ready to go see it? All right, so right as we walk in, you see these awesome prep tables. Those will offer so much prep space. I think we have 6 of them in here. And I think when we do food assembly, we're probably gonna push them together and just make a nice long workstation. When we first bought these, we did not think we were gonna have, or we thought we were gonna have more space along the walls to put these. So we didn't get wheel kits for them, but now we're kind of wishing we did. So that might be one of the first things we add. But let me step back. So if you didn't see my first video talking about the building, you'll have to go back. I'll link that down below. But we had to take out a huge concrete slab that was right here in the middle. And that was from the auto repair shop's hoist. And then when the winery was here, they filled it in and then raised it 6 inches to put their wine barrels on. So we thought that was going to be a huge tripping hazard, and so therefore we took it out. We then had to sand it down and fill it in because what we took out took a little bit too much of the concrete out. And then we decided to finish it with this really nice epoxy. It looks wet, but it's not. It's just a nice dark brown. I thought it kind of resembled hardwood floor and just a nice warm cozy space. So then on to this showstopper. This was not here at all. It was just a white brick wall, and my amazing dad, who works with sheet metal, installed this huge hood and had to run out the fan out the back of the building and the inlet fan into the building, and then put the nice stainless steel backsplash on there. It was easy to clean and it will prevent fires if there ever was one. And then we installed these new pieces of equipment. We were gonna go with used just because this is our first kitchen and we didn't wanna go broke doing it. But after looking for several months at used equipment, we just didn't find anything that was somewhat well taken care of, and everything was so dirty that was being sold. So we thought, since there was already a lot of construction needing to be done here, the last thing we wanna do is work on equipment to make it, running again. And honestly, if you're gonna put the money into something, you might as well get it new. It's gonna last you longer, have a warranty, and it just looks really nice. We decided to go with the Copper Beech brand. I'll show you that right there. Mainly because it was at the store that we were looking at equipment, and I loved the copper finishes on here. I just think they're a nice feminine touch to the kitchen, and it was affordable. I mean, it's not top of the line, but it does its job and they're attractive. Can you imagine how many sheets of bacon I can cook now? And then across from the range and the stove is a refrigerator. We just have this 3-door refrigerator right now. I know that I'll probably be quickly growing into another one, or maybe even a walk-in cooler. But this was a good investment. It was used. We actually got it from a pharmaceutical company who used it to store their medications in. So I'm sure many of you may know this, but when designing a kitchen, you kind of have a couple different layouts that you could follow. I know there's like the galley kitchen, there's a triangular kitchen, and we decided to go with the triangular style. So there's essentially one corner of the triangle. The sink over there is another corner, and then the tip comes to the refrigerator. So just the flow of the kitchen you want to think about before doing yours at home or doing a commercial kitchen like this. That's another reason why we've put the tables this way and left a little bit of a gap in between each table. That would just allow traffic to go through. And then lastly, not too exciting, but we just added some outlets I think they did probably about 6 feet. You can never have too many outlets. Who can agree with me there? And finally, this was a little bit of a bonus to me. This is called a cook and hold. So essentially you can put things like whole chickens, roasts, even bones for stock, which is what I plan to use it a bunch for, in here in pans. And you can tell it, you can program it up here to tell it to cook at a certain temperature for a certain length of time, and then once it's cooked for that certain time and temperature, it will hold it at a safe temperature. That way you don't have to come in at 5 o'clock in the morning to pull out your roasts because they are done. This wall over here, I'm really excited to show you guys. This one is going to be kind of my picture wall. I'm planning to put a shelf up here for my plants and then another shelf kind of over here, and then a shorter one down here, and that's where I'm going to put my herbs and spices. I love mason jars. I love how easy they are to clean and source, right now anyways, and they're just beautiful. So I'm planning then to add maybe a magnetic strip to add my knives and a couple crocks over here to hold my utensils. So this is going to be a really pretty space that I'm looking forward to sharing in the future. So there's plenty of storage space below the tables. I have an awesome rack right there for all of my pots and pans, bowls, and storage containers. I thought it was pretty smart to put that by the sink. That way when they're clean, we can just put them on the rack to dry. And then they're also really close to the stove and the oven, which is where I'll be using them a lot. And through this door here it's kind of a mess right now. We just moved in, so I haven't put anything away, but this side is going to be dry storage. So I'll probably get another shelf to put right here, and then maybe even one to go down the center to store, as you can see, containers and just dry goods like oils and vinegars and, you know, all the other stuff you need. Dry beans and rice, grains, dry storage like that. And then if we turn around, this will someday be a walk-in cooler slash freezer. As you can see, there's lots of space, and you can never have too much space, especially when it comes to storage. It's pretty cool, isn't it? I'm really grateful for all of the support and all of the people who came here and helped me. I could not send enough thanks to everyone who helped, whether it was my uncle with putting down the epoxy floor, my brother with the electrical, my husband and my grandma's friend for just helping throughout the whole project, and especially my dad. He did a lot of this work after spending an entire day at work, and I couldn't be more grateful for that. So, and thank you as my supporter. I literally wouldn't have a meal prep business if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you for supporting me. Thank you for coming along my first kitchen tour. I'm excited to show you guys more in the future.